We next get visited by Mike Sewell, who seems to send in questions the second he's done listening to the answers to his last question. Yeah, you got a gold star in your notebook on that one, Mike. It's we're all very impressed here at the mighty Please Hold for Dave Sim Empire. Question was December 11th, 23. Hello there, ruggedly manly Matt and famously infamous Dave Sim. My renewed Cerebus obsession has led me many places. Recently to, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Do you know how to pronounce, like everybody else who's, just a scummy white person, I pronounce it Usagi Yojimbo, but it's not Usagi Yojimbo, right?
I believe it is.
No, there's a particular way that you're supposed to pronounce that in the Japanese that I've heard and went, I'll never remember that. It's Usagi Yojimbo. So sincere apologies for the fact that I'm pronouncing that wrong. And Stan Sakai's work, again, where have I been since 1984? Well, you're definitely getting caught up, Mike, and I'm sure everybody that are indirect links in the Dave Sim Cerebus chain are grateful for the fact that you've got your eyes open on this one. Not as brilliant as Cerebus. I appreciate that. That's a matter of opinion, but fantastic all the same. That I definitely agree with. Many parallels, black and white, animal lead character, creator-owned, beyond creator-owned, creator-controlled. I assume that absolutely nothing is done with Usagi Yojimbo that isn't Stan Sakai's call, maybe with a qualification on that one, because I note that there is an animation streaming. Have you seen the Usagi Yojimbo animation yourself?
I tried to watch it, but apparently it is not the comic as a cartoon. It is very much we took the character and a couple of the other characters and put them in a completely different setting, and the little bit that I've read of Usagi Yojimbo, I'm going, it's very Japanese, it's very, of a certain time and place, and the cartoon is very much not that time or that place.
Okay, but presumably that's that was a call on Stan Sakai's part.
As far as I know, he was involved, and it sounded like he knew that they were going to kill his darling, so he may as well say, okay, do this. You get a cartoon, I get a check, and my intellectual property is still my intellectual property.
Right.
Not one of those. Right. Not one of those Howard the Duck movie concepts where, the movie didn't go over well and pretty much killed the comic book character for 15 years. Right.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those. There you get into the dicey area of I don't want you knowing my business. Like a creator saying what I do with my creation and what contract I sign and what decisions I make and what I base my decisions on. Those are my decisions. That shouldn't be discussed. And my problem with that is secrecy only really helps the corporation, and we don't know if this is Stan himself is a private person who just isn't interested in being that public about his business, or if it was, we're only going ahead with this if you sign a non-disclosure agreement, and you sign the non-disclosure agreement, and I think they've even got NDAs now where you can't say that you signed an NDA because they know how bad that looks, and there are very, very few good reasons for a non-disclosure agreement, and most of them are really, really bad, and most of them are malignant lawyer choices and decisions. Anyway, the question for Dave: have you ever discussed your separate creations with Stan? Not as far as I know, and I will qualify that in that I don't know where Usagi Yojimbo would have been in its existence if I met Stan Sakai at a convention. It's very possible that I might have met him at a convention where I'd be sort of hanging around with Sergio Aragonés. Not really hanging around with Sergio Aragonés, but any convention that Sergio was at, Sergio was the center of the convention because he's the most charming, brilliant, entertaining, incandescent figure in public terms as far as cartoonists go. So consequently, if I had been at a convention and Stan Sky was there because Sergio was there, because Stan was and as far as I know is the letterer on Brew the Wanderer. I could have even had a conversation with Stan and not have known because Sergio Aragonés was in the vicinity and was entertaining everybody. You wouldn't call it holding court. It was just there's only one Sergio Aragonés, and if only all cartoonists were this entertaining, we'd be doing a lot better. Because I'm looking at one of the latest Heritage Auctions catalogs, and they've got an albedo number 2, which is the first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo, and it's in 9.8. And it says that the publisher was Thoughts and Images, 1984. So Usagi Yojimbo really goes back to the same year as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll just read this first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo and this exquisite top of CGC's census example is tied for CGC's highest grade. It includes letters from Peter Laird and Don Thompson. Creator Stan Sakai drew the cover and art. Steve Galacci added art as well. An animated series based on the character and co-produced by Sakai is now streaming. This is currently the number 4 book on Overstreet's top 25 Copper Age comics list. Consequently, high-grade copies are garnering considerable attention and some pretty staggering prices at auction. We certainly expect no less here. And then they mention that the Overstreet listing 2023 for a near mint 9.2 value copy is $8,200. So that's a 9.2. This is one of 2 9.8s. Is this the January auction? Yeah, it is. This is January 11th. Which session is it? Yeah, Thursday, January 11th, session 2, item 9289 is the albedo number 2. And at $8,000 for a 9.2, God only knows what the one of the two 9.8s is going to be going for. So I'll be watching for that. But that to me is a credential. That's Stan Sakai's very, very hard work that he's put in over the course of 40th anniversary is this year, and the fact that the first issue in 9.2 is going for $8,000. It's if anything is going to scream good custodian, that's going to scream good custodian.
Right, definitely.
Okay, and then Mike ends off. Also, I have recently listened to all the Please Hold again from the very beginning. And then says, even I'm beginning to worry about myself. I would be going, man, oh man, it's how much listening is that? I wouldn't even want to do the math. If you want to do the math, you can do it independently. And then he goes, swordfish. Does this still get me any cool stuff? Your obsessive Californian fan lunatic, MJ Mike Dodgers Sewell. And at that point, you interject with,
well, Dodger, you win count them, 2 handfuls from the Old Amok prize box, including at least one piece of genuine Dave Sim junk mail saved in a place of honor in the Amok Cave since arriving with my copies of Arc Wars all them years ago. And a bunch of Dane Sim address labels, plus some other junk I haven't looked at too closely. Yes, friends, it pays to be just crazy enough to care, but still sane enough to elude capture by the mental health authorities.
Well said, manly Matt Dow. I should interject on. I didn't know what I did with those labels. That was the MS Society in Canada, and I got on their mailing list, and I send them occasional donations, and one of their rewards that you get for a donation is that you get mailing labels. So I've been getting mailing labels, but they have a typo in them. Instead of Dave Sim, it's Dane Sim. And whatever, I was cleaning up at some point, and it's like, okay, here's my latest batch of Dane Sim labels. I think they finally got it straightened out. I think I finally got a request for a donation from them that was addressed to Dave Sim, but it took a while, and I think I went, okay, instead of just throwing these away, I'll send them to Matt Dow. It'll be the rare Dane Sim mailing label.
You did sign them, and you did write something about that on them. Because when they showed up, I'm like, okay, they're Dave Sim mailing labels, whatever. And then I got a scan from Raleigh of them, and I'm like, wait, what? And I look back, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what these are.
There you are. There. So is Dodger the first one to get Dane Sim mailing label?
Yeah.
He is.
It was one of those I didn't know what to do with them yet, and I'm going, oh, I'll just, I'll put them in the prize box, and when the time comes. It's funny that you should mention that, they had a typo. 40-some years ago, my mom signed up for the Reader's Digest. And knowing that the Reader's Digest sells your name and address to various, mail order things where, they'll send you, credit card applications and crap in the mail that you don't want. It's a junk mail list. My mom put down her name as Mortimer Dow. And to this day, Mortimer still gets mail, and because my uncle's living with my mom, he'll get the mail. He's like, who the hell's Mortimer? And she's like, it's junk, just throw it away. And he's like, well, don't you want to double check? No. Anything that comes to Mortimer, I know is junk. Anything that comes from Mortimer for the past 40 years has been junk.
Man, oh man. Does your whole family have aliases? Because it's, what's that?
Technically, yeah, now that I think about it. Maybe not my brother. Because when...
One of these days, that's going to cross somebody's desk at the FBI, and they're going, "Can we look into these people? They've all got an also known as on their file."
At one point, about 20 years ago, both my parents had my dad was an electrician, and he worked for a contractor. Well, he fell down a flight of stairs while carrying some stuff, and they basically said, "You can't work anymore." You know, it was you can't be an electrician anymore because of this fall. So he had to try to get another job, and he got a job at a call center doing credit card point reward redemption. And because it's a telephone thing, they encourage you to use a pseudonym. So my father Dave started going by Bob. At the same time, my mom got a new job, and her given name is Lizbeth, but she's gone by Betsy for decades. Well, she had to put down her legal name on her application, so she put down Lizbeth, and they started calling her Liz, and she decided that she didn't know if she wanted to know these people outside of work, so she just went with it, and so they started calling her Liz. So my parents, Dave and Betsy, became Bob and Liz, and I'm like, what happened?
Oh, man. Well, you couldn't make that up. You could try, but the human imagination doesn't have that kind of scope.
That is true.
So, okay, I can't let you go one up on me. It's MJ Mike Dodger Sewell is my fan, so we're going to add to his gift package. I'll even do the 2024 Please Hold for Davison earmarked Cerebus FFF fan freebie. More finely attuned than a microaggression indictment from human resources. More intrusive than a Facebook privacy setting. GPS compatible, future-proof, able to strike within a gnat's paramecium of where you live and breathe as a Cerebus fan. Well, we'll see if we're hitting the target with MJ, Mike Sewell. You're getting Cerebus stickers. These just came in from Waverly Press. There's a yellow sticker that's the running Cerebus figure, which was the first drawing of Cerebus I did. That's on the back cover of Cerebus #1. That's a gold-colored one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Then we've got the magenta one, which is Cerebus from Cerebus #2, down in the bowels of the earth. So this one's in magenta, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those, and then there's one image of Cerebus holding up his sword, where the skeleton's trying to hit him with a sword, close up, and that's sort of a brownish red. So you're getting all of those stickers. But wait, there's more. You also get a personalized copy with your can number of The Visions of Cerebus 8, guest starring Cerebus, which has all, as far as I know, of the variant covers. Or, no, these aren't the variant. Were these the variant covers in The Visions of
No, The
Turtles
Visions
8?
was the images they didn't use as covers, I believe.
Okay, all right.
This is Josh Eben's collection of Savage Turtles and Cerebus images.
Right.
And it's not even all of them, because he keeps getting new ones.
It's a bottomless pile at this point. So MJ Mike Sewell, I will be personalizing that for you. And when Rolly comes in next week, that'll be going in a package. But wait, there's more. You also get the proof copy of my pitch to Buddy Saunders, mycomicshop.com, where I was hoping to turn mycomicshop.com into a distributor for the Cerebus in Hell trade paperbacks by doing a test market gift pack in 2022. This is Texas, which is basically the flag of Texas with an image from Cerebus in Hell, Cerebus and Virgil and Dante. Cerebus going, this really, really sucks. And Virgil going, well, that's kind of the point, isn't it? And Dante going, duh. And also, that's in the white part of the Texas flag. In the red part of the Texas flag, it's really not easy being Satan, and Satan thinking to himself, border wall, open border, open border, border wall, border wall, open border, open border. And then some promotional stuff, and of course, pitched Buddy Saunders on this, and he went, no, are you crazy? I don't want to become a distributor. I don't want to distribute anything. I'm a retailer, and, you know, the best, pretty much in the category of best retailer on the planet. So I will be autographing one of these. There's now one proof in the Cerebus archive, and MJ Mike Dodger Sewell as the only other copy. But wait, there's more. There's also, if you remember, the amazing Batfark issue, which is going back a ways, back to early 2021. There was a running gag in there of Cerebus getting tarred and feathered. The placid Cerebus just staring out at us. But instead of the placid Cerebus, he's just covered in feathers with a few stray feathers flying around him. I found the original art for that, and I will be personalizing that to MJ Mike Dodger Sewell and sending that to him. He will be the only guy that has a Dave Sim drawn, tarred and feathered Cerebus. But wait, there's more. There's also the tracing paper, and you can hear this is authentic tracing paper of the Jaka image before I put the clothes on her for the One for Sorrow Akimbo cover. So you can show the One for Sorrow Akimbo cover, and MJ Mike Dodger Sewell will be getting the nude tracing paper in the mail. There you go. If you want to know what Swordfish gets you, that's what Swordfish gets you. Never, as a Cerebus fan, as a listener to Please Hold for Dave Sim, never forget Swordfish.
All I can think of is Matt the Mercenary saying, well, Margaret, I can get you his address, but it's going to cost you. Well, I was, Jen DiGiacomo was in Chicago for a Doctor Who convention, and she posted on Facebook that she was in Chicago, and I'm like, I'm 3 hours north. I smell a heist.
There you go. And then we move from sunny California to the mean streets of Easton, Pennsylvania.